Wait, don't skip this video because this video is going to give you something special that will make you question your own confidence in English grammar. So let's make it more dramatic and impossible to skip it. Look at this first two example at first. At first glance, some people will think, are you mad? What kind of sentences you have written here? Wa after I, where we all know that I is first person singular number, and go with third person singular number he, where we should have written goes instead of go. Are you stuck also? Are you confused why I have written this kind of thing in my sentence? What is the reason behind it? This is the thing, what you have to know, what you have to study. And it is exactly we call as subjunctive mood in English grammar. So throughout this video we have three objectives to know subjunctive mood in English grammar, and they are: first, definition, what it is. Next, we shall discuss its rule, how to write its structure correctly, and then we shall give some example based on it. So without further ado, let's talk about it exactly. So in our first objective, we shall know the definition of subjunctive mood, what it is exactly. Subjunctive mood, it's a special verb form to express suggestion, to express advice, to express demand, to express necessity, and also to express wish. But do you feel really that all sentences in English are going to express the same thing? No, because there are some certain words which will help you to create this subjunctive mood in English grammar, and they are as follows: suggest, recommend, demand, insist, order, necessary, and essential. These words will help you to create this sense subjunctive mood in English sentence. So whenever you see the usage of this kind of word, you have to understand that this sentence is giving you the sense of subjunctive mood. I know still it's quite confusing for you, so with the help of example, it will be clear. So let's go to the next part of it. So next here I have presented three examples one by one, and they are: first, I suggested, next, I recommended, and the third, I ordered. Already we have known so far that with the help of some specific words, certainly like advise, suggest, recommend, order, insist, they help us to create subjunctive mood in English. Similarly, you can say here with the help of that specific word, that is I suggested, I recommended, I ordered, have helped us to create the sense of subjunctive mood in this sentence. That's why they are the perfect example of subjunctive mood. I suggested that he go to the doctor. I recommended that she take the classes. I ordered that he check the bank account details once. It's all one kind of suggestion, recommendation, and order. That's it. Now we are going to discuss our second objective, that is rule. I mean its structure, how to write it down correctly in English, subjunctive mood, with the help of this word, suggest, recommend, and so on really. So let's take it. So next we are going to discuss the rule, how to write its structure correctly with the help of its rule, subjunctive mood. So if we discuss the rule, we can see here we have to use at first subject. As we know, we use subject at the beginning of any sentence, then verb. Maybe it's the special verb to create subjunctive, or you can say also the auxiliary verb. Like sometimes we say it's essential, it is suggested, it is recommended, like that. Then that, then again subject, then base verb or main verb, means root form or V1 form, root form, and then object, which is optional. So what we know here so far: subject plus verb plus that plus again subject plus base verb, which is V1 form, and then object, which is optional. Base verb means root form of main verb, which is the simplest form, like he, go, drink, see, like that. Still, it's quite confusing. I know it's all raw details about the rule. With the help of example, it will be clear and there will be no space of doubts or ifs and buts. So let's look out those examples one by one. It is essential that the girl submit the project. So according to the rule, if we say, then it subject is auxiliary verb, essential the special word which is an adjective here, adjective, then that, then the girl which is subject, submit, root form of main verb submit, because in subjunctive mode when we shall write main verb with any third person singular number, that is the girl or whatever it is, we shall use the base form of main verb which is V1 form, and then object. So what we know, subject it is auxiliary verb, essential adjective, then that, then the girl again subject according to the rule, then V1 form of main verb submit which is base form of main verb, and the project which is object. So in the second example you can say the same thing, subject advised, that is the special verb form for subjunctive mode, then that, then he which is subject again, then check V1 form, the bank account details which is object, and wants which is adverb. So here you can say again the same rule in this subjunctive mood, that is subject, then verb, then that, then subject, then again V1, then object, the bank account details, and then adverb, that is wants. In the third example we can see the same thing here, it subject, was verb, essential adjective, then that, then the work which is subject, then be base form of V1 form, and then completed, then on time, completed and then on time, yes, which is adverbial phrase of time. I mean, it gives us a sense of frequency of time. But here is one thing you have to understand, why the sentence is quite different from the other two examples. We have to understand it. Why? Let me explain. If you see this sentence very carefully, you can see it is written as, it was essential. It was essential that the work be completed on time. In our usual writing, we write that it was essential that the work was completed on time. But here we have used this word essential, which is special word to create subjunctive mood. And whenever we use them, it becomes a part of subjunctive mood in English grammar. And when it becomes subjunctive mood, we shall not use was, we shall use the base form of verb, and the base form of was is be, and already we have written be, and then as same as it is completed and then on time. I hope it's clear now why I have written be only, because in its original form we should have written was completed, the work was completed on time. But when we are writing it in subjunctive mode, we shall use the base form of was, and the base form of was is be, which is V1 form, as we know. That's why we have written be. Then in its original form we used to write completed after was, so we shall write here also completed, then as it is on time. So this is the main thing what we should know in this kind of sentence. That's why it's quite different from other sentences. That is why we should use be completed instead of was completed, because this is part of subjunctive mood. So this is the thing what we need to understand. So this was the main thing up to now throughout our three objectives in this video. First definition, then rule, and then examples. Now we shall do some practice questions to clear our doubt. Well, I can give you another example on this specific matter, that is be completed. Already we have studied here. It was essential that the work be completed on time. Let me give you one example that will be clear. So let me write one example here. Another example. It was vital that the proof be saved for trial. So in this sentence you can see I have written it was vital that the proof be saved for trial. Just like the previous example, be saved. In its original form we should have written was saved, but it is part of subjunctive mood because we have used vital just like essential, and in subjunctive mood we should use the base form of main verb or any kind of verb, even if it's auxiliary verb. So here we should use be, that is base form of word, that is V1, and that's why we should use be instead of was, and then as same as it is saved, and then for trial. That's why we have written, or we should write in subjunctive mode, be saved instead of was saved. It was vital that the proof be saved for trial. And if we explain it again with the rule, then its subject was verb, vital adjective, that, as we know, the proof which is subject, then be saved, be V1 form of main verb, then saved as it is, then for trial. So this is the thing what we need to know at first in this kind of sentence while we are writing subjunctive mode. Now we shall practice some questions so that there will be no space of doubts regarding it. So the first question, identify the grammatically correct sentence. The first sentence is written as, the doctor insisted that the patient takes the medicine twice a day. So here we can see it has used takes, which is not the V1 form of main verb. It means it is an incorrect sentence. So in the second example we can see the doctor insisted that the patient take the medication twice a day. So if we express or analyze the sentence one by one, at first the doctor, subject, then the special verb for subjunctive mood, insisted, then that, then again the patient, subject, then take, which is the base form of main verb take, then the medication, object, twice a day, frequency of time, twice a day, 2 times. So it's completely similar to the rule of subjunctive mood, so that we can say it is a correct form of subjunctive mood, hence the answer is correct. And the rest of the things are incorrect because already we have got the correct answer, so there is no need to check them, just remove. So this is the thing what we need to understand, and you have to find out at first whether it has used any specific form of verb or any specific word like insist or demand or order. Then you have to see whether the main verb is written in base form or not. If it's written in base form, and if you also see insist, demand or necessary or vital or advice, any kind of word has been used in the sentence already, then you have to choose this option as a correct one, because this is the correct form of subjunctive mood. Subjunctive mood. That's it. So next question. So you have to spot the error. So the sentence is, the central board mandated that every bank branch remains open on Saturday to facilitate the transition. We know in subjunctive mode we use some specific words like advise, order, insist, then mandate also. So we have to find out whether they have used this kind of word or not. Yes, they have used this kind of word. It means it is part of subjunctive mood. Now we have to see whether the main verb in this sentence, that is, every bank branch remains. Remain is here main verb. But unfortunately it has used remains, which is not the basic form of main verb. But in subjunctive mode we know we have to use V1 form of main verb, that is only remain, not is. Hence we have used here remains. So this is the error what we have to find out here. See, remain, it will be remain instead of remains in subjunctive mode. So here remain open Saturday is incorrect answer, incorrect part of this sentence, and this is the correct one according to the answer, because in subjunctive mode we have to use V1 form of main verb, V1 form, that is remain only instead of remains. Yes, next. So next question we have to find out here again. The magistrate requested that the suspect remains in the city until the investigation concludes. So third question, identify the error in the following sentence, and the sentence is, the magistrate requested that the suspect remains in the city until the investigation concludes. Now you will think that what is the error? You have to see two things, whether it's a subjunctive mood or not, or whether it is written the main verb mainly in base form or not. If it's subjunctive mood, then you have to see it. If it's not, then there's no need to find out whether it's or not. So let's check out. We all know when we use subjunctive mood in sentence, we shall use advise, request, necessary, then advise definitely, then insist, and so on. Really, there are so many words to define this thing. So in this question we can see requested, which is part of subjunctive mood, because it's giving you an expression of request for doing something. So it means this is a part of subjunctive mood. It's clear now. Request. Next we have to see the main verb, whether it's written in base form or not. That the suspect remains in the city until the investigation concludes. So we can say here the main verb remains. Remains is not written in base form. If it's written in base form, then it will be remain only instead of remains. So hence this is the error in the C number. And this is the correct answer, because in subjunctive mode when we use main verb along with any third person singular number like the suspect, he, she, or anyone else, we have to use the base form of main verb, that is remain only. Or if it were any different kind of word, then it would be definitely base form of that certain main verb, like drink, see, love, something like that. So here C is the correct answer. Next, already I have taught you in the previous example how to write whenever you will get this kind of subjunctive mood, that is be reviewed, be proved, be saved by an independent. This will be applicable here as well. If you see this sentence, it is written in subjunctive form, proposed, then that, as it is, then subject, then empty place, then reviewed by an independent auditor. Which one is be, was, should be? No, it will be be, because in subjunctive mode question we have known that when we see any sentence has been started by proposed, advised, mandate, essential, necessary, whatever, it will be a part of subjunctive mode. And then if it's written in subjunctive mode, then we have to use base form of verb. So here in its original form we should have written like the policy was reviewed. But in subjunctive mode we shall not use was. because we need to use V1 of was. And V1 of was is B definitely here. So here we should use the board proposed that the policy be reviewed by an independent auditor. Hence, B is the correct answer here. B. So in this way, you can solve very easily any question from subjunctive mood. You have to see this video again and again to clear your doubts. Then you will be able to solve this kind of question very easily without any mistake or hesitation. Next question. Next question is from previous year question of SSC CGL. And the question is, the committee, you have to find out error in this sentence. The committee insisted, keep it in your mind, insisted, part of subjunctive, that every proposal is reviewed before it was placed before the board for final approval. Is reviewed before it was placed before the board for final approval. So one thing is clear, this sentence is part of subjunctive mood. There is no doubt. But now you have to see whether the main verb has been written in base form or not. If you see here, after that, every proposal is reviewed. But in subjunctive mood, we can't use is. We should use V1 form of is, that is be reviewed. So here, this is the thing what we have to find out as an error, that is reviewed, and hence 1 is the correct answer. The rest of the thing is not, because we should use be form, which is V1 form of main verb. Sorry, it's not main verb even though it is auxiliary verb, so that we need to use be along with reviewed, because in subjunctive mode we know that we use base form, which is V1 form. So this is the thing what we have to understand. Next example. This is going to be the last example, last practice question. And the question is that it is necessary to the happiness of man that he is mentally faithful to himself. No error. You have to find out the error here. So what is error here? One thing you have grasped, that necessary, which is part of subjunctive mood. Now we have to see whether the verb form is written in root form, the V1 form, or not. It is necessary to the happiness of man that he is mentally faithful to himself. Then what is error here? It is necessary happiness of man that is mentally faithful to himself, or no error? If you see this line, he is mentally faithful to himself. According to the rule, we should use that plus subject plus V1 form plus as it is, then object. In this sentence, if you see subject, everything is okay. Then after that, he, subject, then is mentally faithful to himself. But we can't use is in any subjunctive mood, because we know we need to use V1 form of that verb, and V1 is be of is. It means this part of this sentence is incorrect, and that is happiness of man that he is. Happiness of man he is. This is the correct answer, because we haven't used be instead of the thing, because we have written here, we didn't write the base form of is, that is be. And in subjunctive mode, we know we should use after subject the base form, that is V1 form. That's why this part, happiness of man that he is the main error in this sentence, and this is the correct answer if you choose. So this is the thing what I have tried to explain one by one with some with definition, then rule, then example, and then through some practice questions. Now we shall say one thing. If you like this video so far, what I have tried to explain, give your like, subscribe my channel, press the bell icon, and share with other people. That's all for today. Tata. See you again. Bye.